Hey everybody, welcome to this Truck King news update from my garage. Now today it's all about the Ford Bronco. As we sit and wait for early 2021 when the 2- and 4-door Bronco will finally actually hit dealerships, Ford continues to let out more information and more images to entice buyers to put down a deposit on one of these machines. So far, the brand says 165,000 people have put down $100 deposits on the Bronco, and of course, they would love it if that number was even bigger. So Ford revealed these 5 Bronco concepts in honor of the Bronco's 55th birthday. Now really they just show us that with some love from the aftermarket, exactly what the Ford Bronco and Bronco Sport can be. Before we dig into the concepts, let me share a little bit of other news. Ford announced the location for its very first off-rodeo park. That's what they're calling it. It's going to be in Austin, Texas. Now, every single buyer of the Ford Bronco or Bronco Sport will get a free 1-day off-road driving school. You have to get there and you have to put yourself up, but Ford will cover the cost of the driving school and they'll provide a Bronco. That's pretty cool. Now, more locations across North America are coming, so stay tuned. Well, all we know for now is the first one is down there in Texas. And the other piece of news, the Bronco is going back to Baja. Ford has already announced that it is the title sponsor of Score's race season through 2022, so it only makes sense that they would take the Bronco back down there and race it in the Baja 1000. This vehicle has a rich history in the deserts of Mexico, so I'm excited to see what the stock Bronco can do down there. Now let's dig into these concepts, and of course at the end I will tell you which one is my favorite. So first of all, we have the Ford Bronco 4-door Outer Banks Fishing Guide. This Bronco has been built to support a professional fishing guide, and it is based on the Bronco Outer Banks series. On top of this concept is a Best Top Sunrider first row soft top. You get factory style concept roof rails and crossbars and a Yakima platform roof rack. Clearly the most obvious upgrade is that custom fishing rod holder, and it actually uses those mounts right on the front hood of the Bronco. Topping it off, you're getting a Ford Performance modular front bumper and a safari bar, while there is also a slide-out tailgate in all of these Broncos, a nice feature when you need a workstation for someone like a fisherman. Moving on, this is the Bronco 2-door Trail Rig. As the name suggests, this has been designed to be the ultimate hardcore trail rider, and it is based off of the 2-door Badlands series. It begins with a Ford Performance modular front bumper, tube doors, beadlock capable wheels, and 40-inch rigid LED light bar. A Warn winch has been fitted up front, while on top there is also a Yakima platform roof rack system with mounts for a shovel and a Ford Performance by Warn recovery kit and recovery boards. Now the next 3 models are all Bronco Sports, and we can kick it off with the most hardcore. This is the Bronco Sport Trail Rig. This Bronco Sport Trail Rig is based on the Badlands series, but it gets a set of 31-inch BF Goodrich mud terrain KM3 tires. It gets a 1-inch lift plus Ford Performance rigid LED off-road lights. On top, again, a Yakima lock and load platform roof rack mounted with all the off-road gear you're ever gonna need, like a high lift jack, recovery boards, and jerry cans. Let's take a break from the concepts real quick just to go over some of the general specs here on the Bronco. So first of all, the difference is, well, the Bronco 2- and 4-door models are actually body-on-frame SUVs, whereas the Bronco Sport is a unibody. The Bronco Sport is also smaller, it doesn't get as much ground clearance, it is much more designed for on-road use, whereas the 2- and 4-door Bronco are clearly meant to go off-road. The 2- and 4-door Bronco offer a choice of either a 2.3-liter turbocharged EcoBoost 4-cylinder that delivers 270 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque, or a larger 2.7-liter twin-turbo EcoBoost V6 that makes 310 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. The smaller Bronco Sport also gets 2 engine options. At the base, the Bronco Sport will get a 1.5 liter EcoBoost 3-cylinder producing 181 horsepower and 190 pound-feet of torque, while the Bronco Sport can also get an optional 2 liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder, good for 245 horsepower and 275 pound-feet. The Bronco Sport pairs its engines with an 8-speed automatic, while the 2 and 4-door Bronco can either get a 10-speed auto or a brand new 7-speed manual gearbox that features a super low crawling gear. It has to be mentioned though, the manual can only be had with the smaller engine on the Bronco 2 and 4-door models. As for off-road chops, well, every single Bronco sold will have 4-wheel drive. And if you see the 2 and 4-door Bronco with the Sasquatch package, that means you're getting 35-inch tires, you're getting high travel suspension, lockers in the front and the rear. This thing is a real serious off-road machine. Moving on, this is the Bronco Sport Tow Razor, and it's all about hooking up a trailer. So this custom build comes along with a Yakima HD bar crossbars and an off-grid medium cargo basket. Of course, you're also getting the trailer tow package, and here on the Bronco Sport you have 2,200 pounds of towing capability. And just for fun, behind the Bronco there is a Polaris Razor XP Turbo. Finally, we have the Bronco Sport Off-Rodeo Adventure Patrol. Ford says this model is designed specifically for its upcoming off-rodeo parks. This model gets a Yakima lock and load cargo platform to hold all your recovery gear, Ford Performance by Rigid off-road LED lights mounted to the rack system, and to support the many off-rodeo excursions available, this Bronco Sport is equipped with the interior bike rack from Yakima to hold 2 mountain bikes inside. So those are the 5 concepts. I think they give us a good feel for a bunch of different styles of Bronco. My favorite one has to be that fishing rig. I love those custom rod holders, and then actually the Ford Bronco by itself is set up really well for something like fishing because you can get all rubber flooring and marine grade vinyl seats. This thing has been set up to get wet and messy and then cleaned out, and if you're really out there in the backwoods fishing, that could be important to you. Plus, come on, this thing just looks really cool. So guys, that is it for this news update. Now go in the comments below and let me know which one of these Bronco concepts is your favorite. Now the Bronco Sport, the smaller model, that's gonna hit dealerships in the fall of 2020. So before this year is done, you should see a Bronco Sport review here on the channel. But sadly, again, we gotta wait for the 2 and 4-door Bronco until spring of next year. And I'm getting impatient. I just wanna drive one of these things. We've seen so many cool Broncos now. So like I said, that's it for this one. Go below, leave me a comment. While you are down there, please hit like and hit subscribe to this channel, and then make sure you come right back here to Truck King to see what we are testing next. See ya.